What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog back with another New York Giants video. And in this video, I want to talk about Daniel Jones and the 2020 season. Now, I'm going to come out here with a hot take right now, and I'm going to tell you Daniel Jones is going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback in 2020. Now, will that translate into wins for the New York Giants? Who knows? I mean, as Giants fans, we have to be honest with ourselves. We are not one piece or two pieces away from winning a Super Bowl. I think the Giants have got a lot of work to do, and there's definitely a lot of holes to be filled. But if there is some, positives we can take out of this, or a team we can model ourselves after, it is the San Francisco 49ers that a couple of years ago were 2-14 and actually won the NFC Championship this season. And I'm not saying we're going to turn the team around that quickly, but it shows it can be done with the correct draft picks and free agency and the correct coaching staff and everything else. You get the right system in there, you can take a really bad team and turn them into a really good team. I feel like the New York Giants have the coaching staff that can do that. The reason that I say Daniel Jones is going to become a Pro Bowl quarterback is a few reasons. Number one, I love Joe Judge's philosophy that we are going to work our systems around the player's strengths. And Daniel Jones has a lot of strengths that I feel were not utilized by Pat Shurmur. His mobility was a big one. I mean, Daniel Jones had really poor offensive line protection last year. Nate Solder was a train wreck. And the Giants didn't roll him out very often. I always felt like if you have a mobile quarterback and the pass rush is getting there, allow him to roll himself out of the pocket so that he has the run-pass options. I'm not saying Daniel Jones needs to run 15 times a game or 10 times a game, but it is nice to give him the option or at least get him the hell away from the pressure so he's not getting blindsided and fumbling on a consistent basis. Now, Daniel Jones came in week 3 of the regular season, and we saw what he did against Tampa Bay. We were down big in that game. He lost Saquon Barkley to the high ankle sprain, and this guy pretty much single-handedly brought us back to win the game. Yes, I know William Gay missing the field goals definitely contributed to us winning the game, don't get me wrong, but Daniel Jones did every single thing he could to ensure that we won that game with 4 total touchdowns, 2 passing and 2 rushing. But you got to see Daniel Jones's the full complement of his skill set, which is being able to throw on the run, make plays with his legs, make plays with his arms. You could see that he had an utmost confidence for a guy that was starting his first game and led the Giants back to a victory there. So he definitely has the pedigree to do this. He's got the confidence and he's got the skill set to become a great quarterback. And I love what he did last year. Yes, people are going to knock him for the fumbles. I feel like the media gives him a really hard time because the media was all incorrect about Daniel Jones, as was I when we drafted him. But the difference between me and the media is I can come out here and admit I was wrong and go back and look at it and say 4 days later that I loved what Daniel Jones brought to the New York Giants. And I became a big fan after watching his tape and actually going back and researching all the stuff that I didn't research to begin with. So I had no problem saying, hey, I was wrong about Daniel Jones, and I'm glad, and he's got a fan for life in me. I got the kids back, and I think he's going to be great. Couple reasons. Again, I mentioned Joe Judge is going to work around the strengths, but I believe Jason Garrett is the key to this whole thing. Now, Cowboy fans can say, well, he screwed Wade Phillips and he did this and he did that. But one thing that he definitely did do was take it. I believe, I could be wrong about this, Tony Romo was undrafted out of Eastern Illinois. So he took an undrafted quarterback and turned him into a Pro Bowl quarterback. He took a 4th-round pick in Dak Prescott and turned him into a Pro Bowl quarterback. Guys that may have had less talent than Daniel Jones has, and he was able to take their talents and turn them into proverbial Pro Bowl quarterbacks that won games for the Dallas Cowboys. This is something that Jason Garrett does very well, and I think that he will do this with Daniel Jones and his skill set. Another thing is, as I mentioned, Daniel Jones' offensive line was horrible last year. He didn't have Saquon Barkley for a lot of his season, and when Saquon Barkley came back, he certainly wasn't completely healthy. We saw the one game that Saquon Barkley looked to be 100% was against Washington, and Daniel Jones became the first rookie quarterback in the history of the NFL to throw for 350 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Now, you can say that was against Washington all you want, but I'm pretty sure over the history of the NFL, rookie quarterbacks have played other poor teams and certainly did not fare as well as Daniel Jones did in that game. So it helped having a running game, which I think the New York Giants are going to incorporate. Now, again, saying this is saying everybody on the Giants is going to be healthy. We're assuming that Golden Tate will not be suspended for a few games like he was when Daniel Jones started, that Sterling Shepard will not have all these concussion problems, that Saquon Barkley will not have a high ankle sprain. And I believe that, again, that's all things being healthy, that Daniel Jones can take this next step. We saw Carson Wentz take a big step up his sophomore season, and I believe that Daniel Jones can go on the same path as what Carson Wentz did in his second season. We saw Jared Goff also take a big step forward his second season. Now, Jared Goff has come back to reality. Carson Wentz is still pretty damn good, but he's got, he's injury prone. But I do think Daniel Jones is going to go in the right direction. And a big reason for that is I believe that Dave Gettleman is going to put the right pieces around Daniel Jones between free agency and between the draft. We're going to build that offensive line around him. Dave Gettleman knows this is his last opportunity as New York Giants GM. If we are not good this year with all this cap space and all these draft picks and high draft picks, he's gone. And he knows it. So he's going to do everything he can to ensure that the New York Giants improve and that they get the protection around their first-round pick last year, which was Daniel Jones, 6th overall. You are going to protect him. Do not do what the Jets have done with Sam Darnold. Now, I understand that it's hard for a rookie quarterback, to go from one coach to the next. That's not something you want to do. The Jets had to do it. Todd Bowles is terrible, but they brought in Adam Gase, who is not a good quarterback either. You see that Ryan Tannehill failed in Miami, and not that he was fantastic in Tennessee, but he was much better in Tennessee than he was with Miami. You can blame Adam Gase for that. The Jets did a bad job of bringing in a replacement for Todd Bowles, in my opinion. They also did a really bad job of protecting Sam Darnold. Again, the mono thing was, not Sam Darnold's fault, obviously. It's nothing you can do, but the Jets still don't have a great offensive line. Le'Veon Bell really struggled, which I knew he would, because he didn't have Pittsburgh's offensive line. The Jets did a bad job of protecting Sam Darnold. This is something the Giants, in my opinion, will not fail at going forward this season. You will see Daniel Jones protected. You will see the Giants do whatever they can, whether that's grabbing a Jack Conklin, whether that's drafting a Tristan Wirfs or an Andrew Thomas or a Jedrick Wills or whoever they're going to do. I would love Isaiah Simmons, but in my opinion, I believe the Giants at some point in this draft are going to address the offensive line, and I think that it really could be the first overall pick. I've seen some mock drafts that Isaiah Simmons is falling all the way to number 12, and again, mock drafts at this point are kind of pointless. We haven't seen the combine, so we really don't know what's going on. But in my opinion, I do think the Giants are going to build that house around Daniel Jones. I believe that they will go out and get another wide receiver to give him another weapon there. And I do believe that with a healthy Barkley, a great upgrade in the offensive line, this coaching staff who's going to build the game plan around Daniel Jones' strengths and cut down on these mistakes, I believe Daniel Jones is going to take that next step forward next year, and you will see him in the Pro Bowl. That's my hot take on that. That's all I got for now. I can't wait to get back to calling Lakers games. I got to be honest, man. I needed that break from calling all those games. God, I miss calling the Lakers. We'll be back tomorrow night, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time, to call the Laker game, and I can't wait. Until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. It is the Bad Diggity Dizzle, and I am gone. Peace!